Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. Alright man, the draft is tomorrow. If you're watching this video another day, then the draft is probably already passed. But the draft is tomorrow. Big day for the channel and all of that, man. Gotta get one more mock draft in before the draft. And honestly, I'm gonna do two mock drafts. The first one is gonna be my mock draft. What I think the Saints should do, what I want the Saints to do, and kind of how this draft falls. And the second one I'll do is what I think the Saints will actually do with Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore. From what I've been reading, who they've brought in, the rumor mill, whatever you want to call it, that will be the second mock draft. And we'll compare the two from years from now. Let's see who had a better mock draft. I'll post my final one. Then obviously I'll have the prediction one, and then we'll have the actual one that the Saints would do. But let's stop talking and let's just jump right in to this draft. Now, if it's just a guy like that, just I know won't be there, I'm just not gonna pick him. Like if Cam Moore's there at 9, I just won't waste my time. All right, now this is very interesting because I do think the draft will somewhat fall like this. I do think Shador will be on the board because I don't think the Giants are gonna take him. I do think Will Campbell will be on the board. I do think Ashton Jeanty will be on the board. And for me, in my opinion, what I do think the Saints should do ultimately in this draft is trade back. Obviously Derek Carr looked like he doesn't want to play for the Saints. I'm not mad at that. So we may be rolling with Spencer Rattler. We may be rolling with Jake Haener. We may be rolling with an entire new quarterback. So if you're gonna do that, let's be honest. It's gonna be a rough year. It's gonna be a rough year. So if we're gonna have a rough year already, and we're probably gonna be picking back in the top 10, let's trade back. Let's build up some more ammo for next year's draft. So if it felt like this for me, I will be clicking this trade button. I'll be trying to see, who wants to trade with the Saints, things like that. I will try to move back to the 12 to 18 range. It's going to be very hard to move back in this draft, in my opinion. Looking at who's on the board at the moment, I won't be mad if moving back right here. And like I don't know who will fall to us if we move back. But let's see a pick that I like in here. Let's just go with the Colts at 14. Let's trade back with them. I can definitely see that happen, or I could see Pittsburgh happening if they really fell in love with Shador. But let's just go with Indy right here. Let's see if we can get some picks out of them. That's not Indianapolis. This will be, I don't know where I is because obviously Indy. That's a bug in here. Oh, there you go. That's not Indy. I didn't click them. Anyways, obviously they'll be getting that. Now I'll try to steal a second round pick out of them. I don't know if we'll actually be able to. Maybe you can get a next year second out of them. You're only moving 5 spots back. So maybe we'll add a third in there. They're gonna accept this. Don't know how truly this will be accepted in real life, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it right now. And we'll be back on the board. This is a real offer? No, never in a million years. Never in a million years. That's not bad right there. That's not bad right there. I want to check before I accept this trade because that's a pretty good trade right there. That's a really good trade actually. And you know what I'm going to do? We're going to trade again. Where's those offers, buddy? We're going to accept this. Like I said, obviously I don't know how realistic this is. And we're going to trade back a second time in this draft. And I don't think Tyler Warren will be there. I'm just going to be honest. But for this draft, he is there. And anyone can fall. Anyone can fall for it. But for this draft's sake, I'll take him here. I'll take him here. I don't think he'll make it to 17. I'll obviously keep that in mind. Or 18, excuse me. Will Johnson, I'm kind of skeptical on him. Mikael Williams, who I kind of think the Saints may end up drafting if they take an edge. But I wouldn't be mad at Tyler Warren right here. So I'm going to end up taking Tyler Warren right there. We do get a lot of second round picks now and some next year's pick, which is going to be better for this team. We need young talent. We don't have enough young talent on this team. We have a bunch of old guys, and it's time to get younger and time to get better. I don't think I'm in the business of trading anymore, even though I do think we should trade down as much as possible in this draft and get as many picks as possible and go from there. Right here. We'll get back to that. Looking at who's on the board, I would have loved Mason Taylor right here, honestly, if I didn't just take Tyler Warren. This will be a tough one. Out of everyone that's on the board, I do like Donovan. I like Nick, but kind of weary on him as well. Out of this crew, I'll just take an offensive tackle. I'm not gonna pretend I watched a lot, of him from Minnesota, but I'll end up taking an offensive tackle because we didn't pick up Trevor Penning's fifth round or fifth year option. So I think we're gonna end up taking a tackle in the draft anyway. So I'll take a tackle right there. And we're back on the clock. Right here. And I watched this guy's tape, this corner. Man, oh man, he was really, really good. I believe he got injured. If I watched a lot of guys. If I'm reading the guy, if I got the correct guy, I believe he got injured this past season. If that was him, let's just go here. See how many games he played. Not 100% sure if that was him that got injured. But I definitely watched the corner from ECU. That was that was really, really good. Okay, yeah, 2024, only played in 3 games. Yes, that was him. Really, really good player. We're gonna draft him right there at 45. And obviously I traded back a couple times. Like I said, I'm not gonna trade back anymore. So we have a bunch of picks in that 40 to 50 range, which I really think the Saints should go for just in this draft. And if I was right here, basically I would pick between the 2 Ohio State running backs, in my opinion. I think we have to get a running back in this draft. And out of the 2 guys, honestly, it's who do you think is going to be better out of Henderson and Judkins? If like this was the list, I'll just end up going Travion Henderson right here. I think Judkins may be better. I think they're really, really close. So I don't think you can go wrong with either guy. I'm just going to go Henderson for this draft. At the moment, I think we fill holes. A tackle's going to be a hole. Tight end's a hole. I don't care if we re-sign Juwan Johnson. Cornerback's definitely a hole. And running back's a hole. And right here, 71, I don't think Trey Harris is going to be on the board. But if Trey Harris is on the board right here, we would take Trey Harris because wide receiver is another hole on this team. I know we signed Brandon Cooks. I know we have Rashid Shaheed. And I know we have Chris Olave, who picked up his 5th year option. But, if he's going to be sitting there, we'll be taking him. Then right here we can go a lot of options. Tyler Show is a name that the Saints has been brought up in the Saints a lot recently. A guy that's just been brought up in mocks a lot recently. I think he's rising a little higher than I would say. He should. But we got 92 right here. I've taken Kevin Winston a couple mock drafts, and I've taken Andrew, but I think I'm going to go back to Andrew on this one because I do think we need a safety in this draft. Safety play is we have Tyron still, got Howden. I'm not confident in our safeties. I'll say that much. Right here, If Emory Jones is on the board at 112, I would take Emory Jones in a heartbeat. Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do right here. They're probably gonna give us a B because they have him listed as a tackle. I think Emory Jones could be a really good guard as well. We've had a left guard problem with the Saints, and it's kind of just rotating guys in and out of there. With Lucas Patrick, obviously we had Pete, or for a while. When guys get hurt, we just plug and play that position. I think Emory Jones can come in and play guard. I think he'd be really, really good at it. I think him and Will Campbell kind of the same mold. They both played tackles in college, but I do think they both can be really, really good offensive guards. Next up, I do think we're gonna have to eventually go get an edge or defensive, interior defensive lineman, just depend. So I'm just gonna go Caldwell from Oregon right here. And we have a couple more picks in this draft. So far we got a tight end, an offensive tackle, a cornerback, a running back, a wide receiver, a safety, an offensive tackle, a defensive line. We're spreading this thing just like wildfire. We need to hit every position group. I think I'm doing a good job so far of that. Don't really like my 2nd round pick at 40, to be honest. Not say I don't like it. I just haven't seen enough personally on him. Love Warren. I love I don't know if it's Revel or Revel, but I promise I watched the tape. It looked really damn good. And if Savion Jones is here as an edge, I'm gonna snatch him up. Watched him a lot at LSU, so I do know a lot about Savion Jones. Think he's a really, really good pass rusher. Not the craziest production, but I have seen flashes from him where I think he can be a solid edge guy in the NFL. And let's see. couple 7-round picks. Now, obviously, at this, this late, you're looking for special teams guys, maybe some guys you can develop, maybe be rotational guys down the line. You're not looking for home run picks in the 7th round, honestly. So you just take what you can take right there. And right here, is this guy? Is this the like big guy that ran like 4.3 or something crazy? Let me just search that, because if it is, I'm just gonna take him right there. Yeah, 6'4". Yeah, I believe that's him. I'm not sure it's gonna say it's 40 time on him, but it's a guy from Arkansas that was huge that ran a 40. Let's see if that was him. Nope, 4.5 from him. Maybe it was at Pro Day. It was a guy that ran like 4.3 at Pro Day or something crazy like that. Still gonna end up taking him right here. Another receiver. Can never have too many receivers, man. Especially this late in the draft. You're looking to develop a guy that maybe didn't produce in college and things like that. And I think that'll be a good project for the Saints if that's the guy I'm thinking of. Not sure if it is. Not even about to really check, if we're gonna be honest. And last, I do think we can take we can go any direction with this. Personally, I'm going to take another running back. I do think we can take a linebacker right here as well. Don't like that I didn't get a linebacker right here. If I had to go redo this, I'll probably take a linebacker, somewhere in here, like maybe where Emory Jones is, maybe where somewhere between 112, 131, 184, I'll probably take a linebacker. But I do think the Saints are happy with their starting linebackers. Maybe we'll need another, backup guy, but I do think the backers are a little tiny bit better than the public's giving us. So for this last pick, let's just go searching. It's the last pick. I'm not sure. Garrett Dellinger, been an LSU guy. I wouldn't mind Garrett Dellinger. Don't know what position he would play. In the NFL. But I do think the Saints would need, some more linemen. You can never have too many linemen. And for some reason, I'm just going to take Clay Webb. I have no idea who Clay Webb is, but he's going to be my backup center because that's what he is. I don't know what he plays or what. I'm gonna draft Clay Webb right here. He'll be my backup center. I'm glad I got an A+ for that right there. So, in my final mock draft, let's look at it once these draft results are loaded. We got Tyler Warren, Ariante, crazy name to pronounce. Ariante, offensive tackle from Minnesota. We got Siobhan, cornerback, East Carolina. Travion Henderson, Trey Harris, Andrew Mukuba, Emory Jones, Jamari Caldwell, Savion Jones, Andrew Armstead, and Clay Webb. A lot of A's and A+ and one B in there with Emory Jones, but they have him as a tackle. I took a tackle. I think he can play guard, so I'll pretend that's an A as well. Don't really care what they gave me on here, but I think that's how the Saints draft would go if I was the GM and if it played out like that. Don't think it'll play out like that. Like I said, I don't think Tyler Warren would be at 18, but if he was, I would love to take it. So that'd be my mock draft, man. Let me know what y'all think about that one. Now I'm gonna restart this. Let's hit a little refresher, and let's do this again. But now I'm gonna pick my Mickey Loomis brain on, and we'll go from there. Now I'm gonna do what I think the Saints would do if the draft fell like that to them. I don't think they'll be trading back. One thing we learned about the Saints, them and trading back don't really exist. And let's start this draft up, and let's see. I just watched Cam Ward go 8 in this draft, which is absolute to Carolina. Like, Abdul Carter won't be there. Like, I'm not even wasting my time. I'm not even wasting my time with that. When I think the Saints kind of showed their hand, what with not picking up Penny's option, he's been probably the best rated tackle in the draft. Him and Will Campbell. You got Armand. And I'll take him. And I think I wouldn't be mad with this pick so far. If I was the Saints, I wouldn't be mad with this pick. I honestly wouldn't be mad if they made that pick at number 9. You kind of have a tackle. You got your tackle solved, in my opinion, with him. And then Fuaga, I think you solve your tackle issue. And I think that'll just be... You can't be mad if you solve your tackle issue for the next 5 to 10 years. You just can't be mad at that. With this next pick, like, I don't know... I'm on all offensive tackles. I don't know what the Saints would do, but they came out and said they're trying to rebuild the trenches. So in my mind, I just think they're going to be trying to build the trenches up. I do think they're going to take a trench guy. So in my opinion, out of this list here, I'm not sure if we'll take a D tackle here or edge. But just I'm trying to get in the mind of Mickey Loomis right here, which is hard. Think if it fell like this, oh, I know they would love to take a North Dakota State, excuse me, North Dakota State lineman. I'm going to go, I'm just trying to decide if I want to go edge or D-line. I'm going to go Kenneth Grant, D-line. Michigan, more of an interior guy. And then right here, I have no idea what the Saints would do at 71. I think this is going to be the big play for the Saints. Right here, I think this is going to be a huge pick for them. Because you can go a lot of different ways, especially depending on what you do with your first picks. Because I honestly think the Saints will trade back up in the second round, if I'm going to be honest. I think that's what's going to happen. But right here, I'm going to take Tyler Show because I think his name has been rising. I've seen him mentioned with the Saints. I do think a new quarterback, a new coach will always want to bring a quarterback in. That's just kind of how that goes. A guy that he kind of picks, even if it's not early. A lot of coaches and franchises love to do that. I think they waste picks, but I think the Saints may be on that same path. So I would do that pick for the Saints right there. The next pick, I do think they're gonna probably take a receiver right here. I'm just guessing right here. Maybe a corner. They'll take a corner here. So trying to think of what we would do once again. Maybe a running back. I can see a running back. Damian Martinez. That just seems like a Saints pick. It's gonna be a running back that not the big name guy they've done their homework on. I can definitely see Mickey making that pick. All right, now eventually then we're gonna have to get some skill position. So I'll go Noah Williams, cornerback from Cal. I think I had him in the mock draft as well. Right now, I'm not liking this draft. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. I'm just completely honest. Is this the guy that ran like 4.8? I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna take Xavier Restrepo from Miami, receiver. I do think we're gonna need a receiver in this draft as well. We took a tackle, inside lineman basically, quarterback, running back, cornerback, receiver. I think the Saints like their tight ends in Moreau and Juwan Johnson. I don't know why, but I do think they like them. So I think we're gonna leave them alone. For this next pick, we got 3 left. Let's see what we can do here. I do think an edge would be nice. Malachi Moore would be nice. I'm going to go with Malachi Moore right here. Still think I'm going to take an edge with one of these picks for the Saints. Maybe another corner, another receiver. Maybe a linebacker, maybe. So just see what it looks like. When they back up the pick here at 248. We got time, man. We got time. This is why I want to trade back. I don't like, the draft to go on this long and we don't have a pick. So I think the Saints are going to try to fill out this draft board where they're kind of picking at least within every 40 picks. You don't want a 100 pick weight or something like that, in the draft. In my opinion, I wouldn't want one. Right here, take the best linebacker on the board, Kane Madrano, UCLA. I have no clue who that is. And everyone that's pretending in these comments that they know every player on this draft board, you don't. Stop lying. You didn't watch everybody. To end it, I already picked you Andrew Armstrong. I would have done it again, but I'm going to try to pick someone different. And I'm a Kobe guy, and a guy named Kobe's on the board. I would take him, but I think we're going to take an edge. So K'Mon Rucker from North Carolina. Also don't know who the hell you are. We picked you. We'll watch you, though. And that'll be the draft. And that's my Mickey Loomis draft. I try to put my Mickey Loomis brain on, which is just all over the place sometimes when it comes to drafting. So, yeah, that's my mock versus what I think the mock of the Saints, They got Ormond Mimbo, can't pronounce his name, sorry. Kenneth Grant, Tyler Show, Damian Martinez, Noah Williams, Xavier Restrepo, Malachi Moore, Kane Madrano, and K'Mon Rucker. I wouldn't like that draft. I'm not going to say this is an awful draft. I didn't watch a lot of these guys. I watched Tyler Show. I'm not with it. But if he came to the Saints, we'll watch it. We'll break down more film. Maybe I'll see more, on film that we couldn't see. I think he's like 25 years old, about to be 26. That's already crazy to me as well. But it's a lot of guys in this draft. It's like I think it's the last year of the COVID wave babies, as we like to call them, the COVID babies, where they got their 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, 8th year, all that nonsense. So I think this will be the last group of guys where you're gonna have 25-year-olds in the draft and 26-year-olds and all that. So I think we'll be back on track with like just drafting 21, 22-year-olds and the occasional 23-year-old very, very soon. But that's the 2 drafts, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. As always, this is DaBootTragedies, and I'm out.